that thing sounds good. Hello, I'm Mike Higbee, and this is Neighborhood Garage 2.0. Today I'm with Jamie Johnson in this beautiful 1954 Chevy pickup, and it's quite a custom. It's got a killer story, and he's going to share and tell us all about it.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, thanks for having me over.
Yep.
It's always
Anytime,
a pleasure.
Sir. Yep.
Just real quick, tell us the story about this truck and how it came about.
Well, this gentleman named Clint Loveland called me. It's probably, I'm going to say 6 years ago. And he called me and asked me about, building the truck for him and stuff. And so I went and picked it up for him, brought it to the shop. And he's like all of us, on a budget. And we got started on the chassis and got it kind of underway. And the truck was pretty rusty in the cab. And then, a couple years in, we finally, he rounded up enough money to start on the body work and start getting all the cab corners and the floor pans in it. And just about that time, he actually contacted me one day and said he had cancer, stage 4 cancer.
Oh, no.
And rectal cancer, which was pretty bad and pretty, it shocked us all. And one thing good about it, come out of it is it got some donations pouring in. And so the Mother Road Foundation pitched in some money and bought parts and everything. And then his family and friends and just a lot of good people, pitched in, and we, got to work on it.
Yeah, that was really cool because a lot of people donated their time, donated parts, money. Everyone just really came together.
Yeah.
And it turned out amazing.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, the biggest struggle was, trying to get it finished in time. And, of course, I just started my new shop at that time. And so it was a struggle. It really was. And trying to find the time to work on it and everything. But
the amazing thing is, though, you guys was able to hand him the keys.
Yeah.
And he was able to drive this truck and take it to a show before he passed.
Yeah, he drove it a couple of times, and he got to go to one show with it, and he won an award at that show, which was really cool. The truck's been out a couple of times, a couple of shows. Starbird, it got Dirty Dozen at the Starbird show. And so it's done pretty well. And, the fun part about this truck was actually sending Clint updated pictures of it. And everything. And I think that kept his, spirits up,
right.
Everything, so that was the big thing. It's just
it got his mind off of the cancer.
That's exactly right.
And it was give him something to look forward to.
That's exactly right. And that's kind of where the Remedy story, come about, and we're actually naming the Remedy. The day that I didn't even realize it, I was just sending him random pictures of the truck and stuff. Well, one day I sent him a few pictures of it, and later that evening his mother called me and thanked me for sending them pictures. And so I said, okay. I said, understandable. I said, what was the big deal about it today? Because she'd never called me before.
Sure.
Thanked me. And she said, well, he was getting his first round of chemo that day.
Wow.
And said he was pretty down the dumps. And said after I seen the pictures, it changed his personality. He said he got to showing the nurses the pictures and stuff, and it changed.
Made him happy.
Yeah, it changed his day. So I said it's kind of a remedy for him.
So you named the truck the Remedy.
So I got to the shop next morning, and we got the plasma table out, and and we started cutting the Remedy out. And that next afternoon, I sent them pictures of the truck saying the Remedy on it.
Nice. Well, this story just gives me goosebumps. So we're gonna grab the camera, we're gonna walk around it, we're gonna show it to you. So here she is. She's a beautiful green. Jamie, is this like some kind of tri-coat?
It is a tri-coat color. And the funny story, this truck was supposed to be satin color when we took it to a guy named Bob Fulmer, custom car shop, and he owns a Works custom car shop, I should say. And when I started getting pictures of the truck after, I was like, oh no, so it's got to be a little nicer than what, I was planning on just making him a nice, clean driver.
Right. So, and that's the guy who painted it?
That is the guy who painted it, and Bob Fulmer, he does great work. He's from Seymour, Missouri.
It's beautiful. I could only imagine the hours that went into it.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny when they started with sending me pictures. I'm like, oh, I don't see that going with this, with the whole theme of the truck. But it really, he hit a home run on that.
Yeah, knocked it out of the park. Tell me about the wheels on this.
They're Mayhem wheels, 20 inch, dually wheels. It's got like 245, 45s on it. And then we did I got dimple dye stuff, and of course I can't leave things alone, so we dimple dyed the hood, everything, which I thought was a cool deal. And then
let the heat out too.
Yeah, it gets a little heat. Plus we're gonna backlight it and stuff. Was with the plan, so you could see it, the lighting.
So what is going on back here? I see kegs of beer, but I don't
Yeah.
think we're drinking out of these.
Yeah, what was funny is when Clint, before he actually had cancer, he talked to me about, doing gas tanks. He wanted them kegs. And I said, well, that ain't no problem. We just need to figure out a way to hang them.
Right.
And then we knew there wasn't going to be any bed on this truck. So he said, just use your imagination. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I like what you do. And if you want to try to do something different, do it. And
Well,
we just got a new plasma table. And I had a couple young boys help me draw the stuff. I'd draw it out on paper, then they would draw it out on a computer. And so, like I said, it just turned out crazy. I like wild and crazy because when you're at car shows and stuff, wild and crazy gets attention.
Sure. So the remedy right here.
Yep.
We was talking about that. This is where you guys put it in the old table and cut it out.
Yep.
Yeah, I can only imagine how long it took you guys with all these bolts. I mean, there's just bolts for days.
It's got 958 bolts in it.
900.
And my fingers were so sore after bolting this thing together. It took me about a week, and me and another gentleman helped me. And it took about a week of putting bolts together. And I'd run everybody out of bolts. I ordered some off the internet, thought I had enough, went to Springfield, run them out, went to Lebanon, run them out.
Right.
It was kind of funny.
So the wheels in the back too. I like the
Yeah, it is a
additional-
one-ton dually truck, and it's got a 14-bolt Chevy under it, and it's got a Ride-Tech 4-link in it with airbags.
Yeah, I got the year of the truck, the remedy, and this thing is on the ground.
Yeah, it's got air ride, and the back tanks here, that's the air tanks that, so you can store the air and everything.
For the air ride.
For the air ride, yeah.
Yeah.
And the fuel tanks, we got these fuel tanks. They were kind of bare, kind of ugly. And my friend Jimmy Reed, he, put the necks in for me and all the fittings. And then his friend Dalton Fox, which he owns Fox Fab, and he actually polished on the tanks for me. And I told him, I said, I don't want nothing shiny. I just want it brushed.
Yeah, it looks good.
Nothing too blingy. And he did a great job on that. And it kind of tied in with the exhaust, the brush look on the exhaust.
So let's look at the inside.
All right, the inside's not finished. I'm going to do a little bit more work to the dash. We actually cut the whole bottom of the dash out.
Is that Dakota Digital?
Dakota Digital gauges, low car shifter, everything. And we cut the whole bottom of the dash, and that's all one piece custom, and got rid of the factory dash and just kind of cleaned it up.
I like it.
So I'm going to do some door panels and stuff for it and everything. And then, of course, we did the custom seat brackets, all with the plasma table and everything.
Yeah, the seat brackets all tie in with the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Even.
This truck was pretty rusty. I mean, basically from about in here down, all the way through was cut out. All the firewall was cut out, and all new sheet metal. It's got cross braces. We put all new bracing in, and I bead rolled all the floor pans in it.
Yeah, it makes it much stronger.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid truck now, and you can mount stuff to it like the seats.
Yeah, and it's not going to rattle, be floppy going down the road. Cool. So let's check out the engine. I'm real excited. I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah. Check out the seats real quick, Mike. Clint brought these cowhides over, and Scott Long's CNA Interiors, he actually did the seats for us, and he helped out too with some of the costs, trying to help out with the.
Scott's a good guy. He does my seats.
He is a good guy. He does great work. And we did bear claw latches. I love this thing. I mean, you just barely shut the door.
Oh wow,
I mean, they just work so well. And underneath the hood is a big block Chevy. Clint wanted a big block. I'd never put a big block in one of these. And we ended up cutting the firewall, moving the firewall back, that's a notch in it. And we were going to do inner fenders and all that, but with the, trying to rush to get it done, and that didn't happen. Butch Scott built the motor for us, and it's got a bootlegger cam in it. It's got a pretty good pop to it. It sounds really good.
Got power brakes. Got an old school scoop going on there.
Yeah, and I'll have to hook that all up, before the next. It's going to be sold in June at Mecum Auction in Tulsa.
Nice.
And I custom built the headers and stuff, just something different. And we did the exhaust and.
Got a nice aluminum radiator.
Yeah, it's got a Superior radiator in it, which we always use Superior. To me, they're the best.
Nice.
And a lot of people don't realize on this truck is the fenders. You know, these trucks are hard to get. It's got an 80s cross member, have a 1-ton dually in it, and they're always too wide.
Right.
And so this truck is actually, this fender has been cut, actually right in here, and I put it in a pull max, and we stretched them fenders out and everything, and then got it and welded it all back in. And you know,
so
actually,
basically what you're saying is you can have a regular fender. It's kind of like a crossbreed between a 1-ton fender and a regular fender.
yes, and you know, like I said, in the plan, in my plan in the future, is I've got all this jigs and I've got all the stuff already machined and ready to go. I'm going to start building cross members and stuff for these trucks and chassis, and we're going to fix that wideness problem.
Right.
And everything. That's my plan. And but no, Kevin George actually here in town, he donated some time to it and helped with the fenders and come over and helped us clean on it, polish on it. So there's been a lot of people donate their time to it.
Awesome. And I like how this was the first year the one-piece windshield in 1954.
Yeah. You know, we built a 55 for some people, and I had never drove one of these with the one-piece windshield. They are so much more quieter inside the truck.
Oh, I can imagine.
You don't get that wind buffering off of them. They're a little more aerodynamic.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
But like I said, I even like the way he followed up with the stripes on the top and anything. I mean, outside in the sun is amazing.
Oh, I
mean, it's just crazy.
I can imagine. It is quite a truck.
Yeah, we did all LED lighting on it, and it's got LED lights on it. Well, it helped if I turn the power on. But I'm an LED fan. I want to light people's teeth up when I have a stop sign behind me.
Right. Jamie, this truck is truly an art piece. So do you got any closing thoughts before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I would just like to say one thing about Clint. Clint was an amazing person. He was a great customer. He actually never complained about bills or cost, and always showed up with a smile and a surprise. And his mom and dad are such good people. I mean, just they've treated me with total respect.
Good.
And it's been an honor to work with them. And one thing I would like to say, this truck is going to be for sale at the Mecum auction in June in Tulsa. And we hope that they can recoup some of their money and that they put in it. But it was Clint's dream to build the truck, and they fulfilled.
So Jamie, this was I know this was an emotional deal for you, but thanks for giving me the opportunity, and thanks for reaching out to me to check this truck out and do this video on it.
Okay, well, I want to thank you, Mike, for showing interest of what the guys are building in the shop. And let me tell Clint's story about this truck and what he went through and stuff. But hey, it's all positive from now, and he's in heaven, I'm sure. And like I said, and hopefully somebody will buy this truck and appreciate it.
Yeah, this will be a good build for somebody, and it'll always have an amazing story.
Yep. And
so
thank you.
You betcha. We'll see you next time on Neighborhood Garage.